1. Listen to bells on the other side ring out sound that spreads from hard center to soft edge. Phantom drips drop on limestone buried deep in a ravine. Faint footsteps behind. Feel air cool as a dark shadow passes. Hear a voice whisper, nobody. Yet some bodies have left a residue, the trace of a trail for you to follow. Two. Returns, retreads, a frequent habit, the same route on repeat, rubbing grass bare to dirt, dust. Disinterred, dug up. I hover, hanging out, having nowhere else to be, wanting connection, to make contact with the past feet that stepped down on this same spot, adding lines to a poem that began before my mother was born and grew up just 4 miles as the crow flies across the river, before my grandpa helped build the stone walls still standing nearby, and before this land was stolen to start 2 cities. Three. Loosen threads that guide, worry stitches, rip seams, seek space unplaced, a break in the trees, not here, there, close to the rim, on the edge, near an opening, next to an exit, ever ready to ghost it, to flare and flicker, register only as shadow, flashing as what else could be possible. 4. Restless, unleashed on asphalt, barely still asphalt, reverting to dirt, orbiting the gorge, seeking some stable ground, better words, to be more than almost, only blur, fizzing up, out, into air, onto ground, released from forms, roads, the need to move with haste or purpose. I study the terrain, gather moments, each loop from gravel to dirt to paved path, through ruts, cracks, past gullies, seeps, and steep slopes, adds substance, makes me more solid, tightens the tether, but never enough to stop the looping. 5. I go to the gorge to find the soft space between beats, before one foot strikes, after the other lifts off, when I float. I pass through time's tight ticks to moments so brief they're like shudders, but so generous they might fit everything left behind by progress. Here, rhythms suspend, held up by motion, the air I pass through. Now, rhythms loosen, spread out, slow. This space, no dream, a shift in perspective where what was edge is centered and what was centered fades away. 6. Pass through limestone walls, fences, occupy place not meant for you. Claim a plot and plant yourself. Don't return, never leave. Linger as buzz beneath. The constant hum in an ear, the pain in a neck, a boulder too big to lift, too much trouble to move. No shadowed smudge or quick flash, but presence here, always, enduring. What is a ghost but part of the past lodged within, remaining, not from stubbornness, but for survival. 7. Eavesdrop on the words scattered by wind and careless voices, not concerned with manners, no need to be nice. Feel the disconnect between you, the path, other people. Free, off the hook, unseen, able to listen in, to overhear and not to be judged, to invent dialogue, give it another ending, turn it all into a better story. Eight, I try to sync up my steps to the geese as they keep in tight formation with their frequent honks, but their reckless beats resist, and my feet cannot follow. Then its slow drips down stone my breath can't match, taps from a woodpecker's knock that outpace my heart. I settle into a rhythm, 3, then 2, first counting foot strikes, then chanting small prayers. I beat out meaning until what's left are syllables, then sounds, then something new or old returned. Let me learn to dwell in these rhythms. Let my feet do more than move me forward. Let my beats bring me back to the other side. Nine, signs, maps, monuments, markers, claims on the land, a possessing with loud "you are here's" that ring out. Proper names placed in firm ground. Meanwhile, softer forms, quiet submissions of proof whisper, "You aren't here, alone." Tamped down grass, a gutted fence with chain links pried open, stones stacked on boulders, a black glove draped on a tree branch, faint paths crisscrossing the woods, graffiti. More than evidence, these slight signs do not declare, but call me to join the endless work of witnessing, making room for what remains outside the known, the official story. Ten, I want her with me on the run, and she is almost, but not quite, and not often. I've heard her call my name through a coxswain's horn, the soft Sara, rising from the gorge. Felt her tap in the tassel's tug as wind knocked against my cap. Seen the flash of her face in a runner's greeting, the blur of her body in a shadow's cast. Every summer I wait for winter, the leaves to leave, the veil to lift, the other side to be revealed. I try to squint hard enough to see her childhood, home just 4 miles east, and wonder, does her ghost ever return to haunt it? "11. Find us every day, around, acquainted with each crack, curve, bump, vista, familiar. Not known by name or by face, but gesture, the wild swing of an arm, the gangly gait of legs too long, the vigor of a good morning, the placement of plaques on a bench, flowers near the crosswalk, white bikes by the bridge, the regulars. We're not from here. This isn't our land. Few of us stay all the time, but we visit enough to belong, to praise this place, to practice devotion." 12. Echoes. Bells bounce off boulders, bridges, time, singing familiar tunes from the other shore. We are not those bells, but their excess, reverb, sounds after the sound that surround, buzzing, persisting, trying to pass on songs of joy, love, grief, anger, that began before we were here, before we believed we were all there was, before we were ghosts.